So the Harbor is a local church in the Bay Area, and we've got one single mission, and that's to introduce people to Jesus and help them become fully devoted followers of Him.
So I actually heard about the Harbor from a friend of mine who worked here, who said that this was such a great place to go to church and to work, and actually it was through that friend that I got to the Harbor.
On a daily basis, myself and the student ministry team, we come into the offices and we will either be planning for an event or a retreat or a camp or something that's kind of like one of the bigger things that we do. Spend a lot of team time together, like collaborating on those things, planning, praying, asking God for vision on how we can accomplish those things. So we do a lot of teamwork on those things.
Some events that we put on is camp, like summer camp, which is a lot of fun. It's really cool, high energy, takes a lot of planning, but it's fun. And we put on Harbor Student Weekend, which is like a D-Now discipleship weekend, and then we have retreats, which are kind of towards the fall typically, to where it spreads out all of the events. But each of them, we always see a high impact on students coming to know the Lord, and they're a lot of fun. They're crazy. I enjoy them more than anything, so the events are really cool.
I think my favorite part is getting to watch teenagers really take ownership of their faith and live that out on their own.
Our youth group event, we call it Merge, and what we'll do is sometimes like weeks out, we'll plan for it. It's going to be like a big event that we know that it's going to be like a kickoff or something like that, and we definitely want to make sure we have the things in line to make that happen. But more than anything, we always think of, okay, what is the theme that we're teaching? To the music. So what's really cool is our worship leader, SJ, she will use the songs that will go along with, say, Weston's teaching on love versus hate. So it'll be music that are based off of what it means to love your neighbor.
Just getting to be with students, to get to hang out with 6th through 12th grade students, man, there's talking about spiritual things, talking about what it's like to follow Jesus, and seeing young people embrace that and follow Jesus with abandon is just so much fun. And so I'm really challenged and encouraged by teenagers and by students who follow Jesus with passion. And so my favorite part of my job is that I just get to be around that, and I get to encourage that, and I get to just be a part of what God does through young people. And yeah, it's just a lot of fun too. We have a lot of fun in student ministry, so we're definitely not short on that.
Yeah, so teaching is something that I have a great passion for. I feel like it's something that God has gifted me to do, and I take that with great honor and great humility.
If you want to know if you truly love, ask yourself, how much am I inconvenienced for others? How much am I inconvenienced for others' higher good?
I've been at the Harbor for 7 years, and actually my former youth pastor is one of our lead pastors here. So the church that I grew up at and that I was a student in, my youth pastor, he moved on from that church and came to the Harbor. And so I kind of followed him out here. And so I was 20 years old, so I had a couple of years of college left, and through an opportunity that God kind of opened doors, and through my former youth pastor, there was an opportunity to come on staff here at the Harbor as an associate student pastor. And so 7 years ago, man, just began to pray through that. I'd actually already made plans to move way a different direction, and God just kind of changed all my plans in like one summer.
It says, whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves, take up their cross, and follow me. Whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves, take up their cross, and follow me. Jesus knows this, that if you want to follow him, if you want to be his disciple, you cannot possibly think of yourself first.
Nothing fit better than student ministry, so I wasn't worried about how it was going to happen or anything like that. I was more worried about, man, I don't want to be disobedient to God in going into student ministry, because I knew the future could look a lot different being in a student ministry, just because it doesn't have tons of pay in the ideal of that life. So I died to a lot of insecurities I had.
So what does peace look like? Talking about stress, talking about the 4 different ways that we find ourselves so stressed out. What does peace look like? And I want to say this, that true lasting peace is only found if you have a relationship with Jesus, if you're walking in relationship with him. If you're in the room and you don't have a personal relationship with Jesus, what peace can look like to you is this coping mechanism of escaping to, it can be really anything, social media, Netflix, parties, relationships, all sorts of different things to cope with your stress.
We also spend some time throughout the week just hanging out and connecting with students in any way. So lots of one-on-one mentoring and even just creating opportunities for students to connect with us, connect with each other, all with the hopes of accomplishing that vision that we have as a church to introduce people to Jesus. So those students in the Bay Area who don't know Jesus, we want to introduce them to him, and then help them become a fully devoted follower of him. And so those of our students who already have surrendered their life to Jesus, we want to talk constantly about what does it look like to live a life with Christ.
Student ministry is the best thing that's ever happened to me. I really mean that.